From the Oregon Ducks to the Jackrabbits is not where I would want to start my year. That stretch from UC Davis down to Montana State is brutal. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over something I found while I was scrolling Twitter. We got a poll that has recently come out going over the top 15 strength of schedule in the FCS. So I want to go through that, put up the whole list over there so you can see it. We're not going to talk about 15 through 6. We're just going to focus on the top 5, which I'll reveal as we go. So we'll start with South Dakota. They come in with the 5th ranked strength of schedule, 5th hardest schedule in the FCS. Starting off with Iowa State, who is ranked number 22 in the FBS. That's going to be a tough game for them, but they do get them coming back from Ireland. They then play Lamar. Then they come back home for their first home game on the 13th to play Northern Colorado. And then they get Drake at home before they have to go to NDSU and play the defending national champs. Then they get a bit of a break against Murray State. And then they get to go to Indiana State, which should also be a decent break for them. After that, they are at Northern Iowa. That will be a tough one. They welcome for a 3-game home stretch, which is good because they get some of the best teams in the Missouri Valley coming to them. In this 3-game stretch, you got Illinois State coming to you on October 25th, North Dakota coming to you on November 1st, and then South Dakota State on November 8th. That'll be a tough stretch, but it's not quite over because you have to go to Southern Illinois to end the year. So that 5-game stretch from Northern Iowa down to Southern Illinois is going to be a gauntlet to run. But they do have games like Murray State and Drake in there to kind of break things up. Speaking of Murray State, they come in with the 4th highest strength of schedule. And oh boy, they are gonna go through the gauntlet. They get Eastern Tennessee State to start the year. They'll lose that game most likely. You got SE, Louisiana, toss-up game there. Don't know much about them. And then they go to Georgia State. They'll lose that. And then after that, they go to Jacksonville State. They'll lose that. And then they go to South Dakota. They'll lose that. Then they get Illinois State at home and South Dakota State at home. So in that stretch, you're probably going to go 1, maybe 1 win in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight losses. Almost. You better win that game against Southeast Louisiana, because if you don't, you're going to be winless going into Youngstown State, who will give you everything they've got. They'll probably beat you. Then you get to bring Southern Illinois to your house. That's not going to do anything. They're going to run straight through you. And then Northern Iowa. I do not understand how Murray State doesn't have the number 1 strength of schedule, because they are going to get beat in every single one of these games. They have to go to Southern Illinois, No, they bring Southern Illinois to them, then they have to go to Northern Iowa. And then you get North Dakota at home. I got 1-10 here. It's ugly. But then they got a toss-up game against Indiana State to end the year. It's at Indiana State. They might be a one-win team by the time things get done. We'll jump over to the Big Sky Conference and the number 2 overall Montana State Bobcats, who opened the year at Oregon. Which, if you've watched my other videos, which I know none of you have, Oregon will be an interesting game. If Oregon starts slow, the Bobcats have a chance to get them. However, it doesn't get any easier because when you come home, you welcome the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. From the Oregon Ducks to the Jackrabbits is not where I would want to start my year. Then you get San Diego, so conference game there. Then you get Mercyhurst. You should win that one. Then you get in the meat of conference play with Eastern Washington, Northern Arizona. Then you bring Idaho State to you. Cal Poly is an away game. Northern Colorado, you're on the road. Then Weber State and UC Davis come to you in a 2-game stretch. And then Montana to end the year against your rivals. It's tough, but there's a lot of Mercyhurst and Cal Poly should be easy games. San Diego, you should run through them. I just don't see this strength of schedule either other than the very beginning and the very end being a very difficult schedule for the Bobcats. So they should definitely make the playoffs. I don't know if I agree with the strength of schedule on that one. Next up, we got the Weber State Wildcats. Yeah, Big Sky, again, they open their year at James Madison. So, James Madison has been in the FBS for a few years now. They're pretty much well entrenched there and doing pretty good for themselves. But the Bobcats, kind of like, or the Wildcats, kind of like the Bobcats, start off the year with 2 tough games because they have to go to Arizona right after James Madison. So 2 FBS games to start the year. And then they go to McNeese. When they bring Butler to them, there's your 2 decently easy games right in a row. And then you jump into conference play full force with UC Davis, Sacramento State, Portland State, Eastern Washington, Montana State, Idaho State, and Northern Arizona to end the year. That stretch from UC Davis down to Montana State is brutal. And your first 2 games are probably losses because Weber State's good, but I don't think they're James Madison and Arizona good. So I get this being top 2. I don't see the Bobcats being at 3. I think they should be a little bit lower than that. I think they got a pretty decently easy schedule. That Oregon game is probably really propping them up there. And I think they have a chance at that game, so we'll see. And then at number 1, of course, the reason I'm doing this video is the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. This will be a fun game to start the year against Kansas State. A lot of the teams that are in this top 5 open with an FCS or an FBS opponent. I think the only one that doesn't is Murray State, and they don't need to because they get Georgia State later in the year and then Jacksonville State. So they get 2. UND opens with 1, and it's against a team that should be in the FBS playoffs. So we'll see how that goes. Then they welcome Portland State for the Potato Bowl. Then they go to Montana in that home-and-home series. We got them last year. We'll see what happens on their home turf. Then UND welcomes Valparaiso. After that, they go to Northern Iowa. Then they bring Youngstown State in. Then they go to Southern Illinois, bring Indiana State in, go to South Dakota. NDSU comes to us. We go to Murray State, and then South Dakota State to end the year. I like the way the schedule shakes out for UND, getting 1 game home and then away. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off having to go on a long road stretch. So we'll see if UND can run the table here. I still think Murray State and Weber State have harder schedules than UND, because we get Murray State, Indiana State, and Valparaiso. I don't think Murray State has 3 games that easy, in my opinion. I think Murray State is just, they might. I don't think Eastern Tennessee State is that easy. So I see Indiana State and Southeast Louisiana being their 2 hardest games, and I don't agree with UND being at 1 with strength of schedule, but we'll see how it shakes out. Let me know who should have the toughest strength of schedule. I think this poll got it wrong, but I'll take it because UND gets some respect if they can run the table. So let me know what you think. Tell me which of these 5 teams has the hardest schedule in your opinion. And I will see you in the next episode where we will be breaking down UND versus Kansas State for week 1. Goodbye.